Since the 1960s, CBS News has reported on the impact of advancing technology on workers.
With machined muscles and a computerized brain, the robots of tomorrow will take over an astonishing number of jobs for man.
Can I help you find something?
This autonomous, multilingual robot is designed to help customers at the home improvement chain Lowe's get their shopping done as quickly as possible.
It's estimated in the next 15 to 20 years, 32% of jobs are likely to change significantly due to automation. 14% could be completely automated right now. 60% of adults don't have the skills for emerging jobs. The new book, How to Win in a Winner-Take-All World, has advice for how to succeed in this new economy. The author is New York Times senior economic correspondent Neil Irwin, and Neil joins us at the table. Good morning.
Morning, Tony.
A lot of anxiety out there. You write in the book that the old adage of show up early, work hard, and learn your trade no longer good enough.
It isn't. I think we all learn when we're growing up, the thing you're good at, do more of it. If you're good at a certain sport, you keep at it. But the reality is what the modern workplace, the modern company rewards is flexibility and the ability to adapt and work across different specialty functions and make teams work better together. I compare it to a relay race. You know, it's not just going fast when you're in a relay race. It's also about getting the handoff right. Modern companies really need that handoff to work well.
You say become comfortable with discomfort.
Yeah, and I think there's ways to do that. That's, we think of adaptability as something you're either born with or not. I think it's a trait that can be cultivated. Anybody, we're not all natural public speakers. You work at becoming a better public speaker. Yeah. You can work at being adaptable by doing different things when you're young.
So how did you conclude these tips? You reached out to companies asking for their most successful performers, from Goldman Sachs to Shake Shack. First of all, when you called them and said, I want to go in and talk to you guys to figure out what your secret sauce is, what did they say to you? What was the reaction?
Some funny questions. I'm an economics writer. Normally I write about GDP and the unemployment numbers, things like that. But I really think there's some changes in the economy that are tied to these changes in the corporate world. So I'd go to Microsoft or GE or Goldman Sachs and say, okay, how does it work here in the 21st century? What does it take to really thrive here? I think they were initially like, well, I don't know about that, but I really found some interesting answers, and I think that's what's useful for a lot of people.
So there are lessons in your book for people working in big corporations and some of these winner-take-all companies. Are there takeaways for people who are not working in an office environment?
Yeah, look, we're not all going to work at Goldman Sachs or Google, but I think these lessons apply across the board. This idea of adaptability, of understanding how you can drive technological change, not be a victim of technological change. That's true whether you're in the executive suite or, out on the factory floor or in the cubicle farm.
Whether you shower before work or after.
Exactly. One example, Walmart's been raising wages lately and adding training, not because they're out of the goodness of their heart, but because they need workers who are skilled in these kind of technological changes reshaping the retail industry.
You say loyalty, basically. Company loyalty is a thing of the past.
Yeah, this idea that it's like a marriage isn't really true anymore. It's more like a series of hookups. You do a job 2 or 3 years, move on. And even if you stay with a company for a long time, I've only had 2 employers. That's fine to stay at one place for a long time.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure that you're growing and finding new opportunities within that organization.
So what do you mean by that? What are some examples that people can go home with? Because you talk about a glue person. What is a glue person?
So a glue person is one of these people, and I met them all over the place at these different kinds of organizations, who really make the teams they're on better, who understand how to work with the person with that technical skill and this person who's in financial and this computer programmer, and make that team come together to be better than the sum of their parts. And I think this adaptability, doing all these different jobs, exposing yourself to different things, is how you can make yourself a glue person. And those people have a lot of success in the modern organization.
I've been living my professional life with just a regular clock on the wall, but you've given me a new clock with 250,000 hours on it. What's the significance of that number?
So if you run the math, if you finish college at age 22, retired at age 65, sleep about 8 hours a night, you have about 250,000 hours to work with. That's your entire waking hours. And I think there's all these trade-offs we make between work and fun and family, hobbies, and I think being thoughtful about those choices you make and using those 250,000 hours well and according to your own priorities for life is the real lesson here. The book is called How to Win in a Winner-Take-All. It's not just how to make the most money, because that's not what everybody's after. It's how to have a career that's rewarding, durable, fulfilling, in whatever that means for you.
How much should we fear automation?
Well, we should fear it a little bit. I think some of this gets overdone. I think the key is not to fear or not fear automation. The key is to make sure you understand how your industry is changing, how automation is going to affect it, and that you can be the person who drives that automation, drives that change, rather than the one who's the victim of it, who is displaced and has to find something completely new.
All right, Neil Irwin, thank you very much for being with us. A lot of scary stuff, but we're trying to take it all in and understand it.
Thanks, guys.
Hopefully they won't find a way to automate newscasters. How to Win in a Winner-Take-All World is on sale today.